What's up, guys? Sam Levy here with the Brokery. Today I am here with Jimmy Vercellino, Marine, veteran.
What's up, man?
Also a fantastic lender. I just want to touch on VA loans, your experience with them, and kind of what it takes to get an offer accepted as a VA buyer in today's market.
Well, first of all, Sam, let me say this, man. I'm honored to be sitting down here with you today, and to be honest with you, you're the first real estate professional that has ever taken the time to come down and sit with me at my office.
It's my pleasure.
Right, and talk about veterans purchasing homes, number one, and number two, getting their offers accepted. And my audience on YouTube knows that I preach VA gospel and information about the VA loan that's going to position veterans in a way that they can increase wealth, build wealth through the acquisition of real estate. That's one of the things that I always say. So I'm grateful that you actually care enough, right, from the real estate side of the house to talk about veteran representation, because it's something that's important, right? And there's a lot of, I just shot a video on this the other day called, there's a lot of VA loan haters out there, right? And the word that I used for hater was, it's synonymous with just uninformed agents, right? Agents that are afraid of working with veterans and active duty service members. So the question becomes, well, how do we change that, right? Well, first, I think it starts through education, right? Helping veterans to understand that the VA loan doesn't take longer to close, right? That it's not a subprime mortgage, that the seller doesn't have to pay any of the costs associated with the loan, right? These are all really important things that listing agents still think that they have to do, or that applies to the VA loan, which is simply, and this is a Marine Corps term we used to say, bum scoop, right? It's just bad intel. So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
One of the things that I was going to ask you today when we were kind of getting ready to do this, and I think my audience would love to hear it just as much as yours, but how are you positioning veterans offers? Because you've had a tremendous success rate. We've helped a lot of vets together. When my veterans call me and they find me online or on YouTube, oftentimes I'm connecting you with them, right? How are you able to not only embrace serving veterans in active duty military, but most importantly, get their offers accepted? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I'll help you, right? But you could just be treading water. How are you able to position their offers where they can get it accepted and close on their house?
Well, we have had a lot of success together, and I thank you for the opportunity. There's a lot of things that go into it, right? First is experience. And so I've done a lot of transactions. I've been in the business for 7 years, so I've seen a few different markets. I've seen a lot of different types of transactions, crazy, outlandish things that, don't scare me, right? And so a VA buyer, a lot of times, especially in this market, for a newer agent is going to be a real challenge because of those stigmas that the VA loan carries. They're putting no money down. It's a hard loan to close, right? These are all fallacies, the no money down thing, that's amazing, but a harder loan to close, that's just simply not true. And so appraisal, right? There are a couple things that are hurdles. And so for me, what I do is just alongside you, I try to educate the buyer around, hey, when we're walking through the house, right, there are certain things that I'm going to be looking for in regards to a VA appraisal to make sure that we can get this loan to the finish line, right? Paint, right? Things like this that maybe a VA appraiser might call out. I'm ahead of the ball saying, okay, I know that's going to be called out, right? So when we get to the inspection period, as long as I'm also educating the listing agent, hey, this is a VA buyer, there are a couple things that go along with a VA appraisal that we need to get out of the way. And for that, we're not going to be asking for all the other ticky-tack stuff that's going to be on this house, right? We need to get a few things done, if they're there, to get this loan closed. But I'm not the person to make your life as a seller, as a listing agent, harder. I'm of the school of thought that we're all on the same team, right? Buyer, buyer's agent, lender, title, seller, and listing agent. We're all one big team, right? Because the seller's goal is to get money in their pocket. A buyer's goal is to get a home. And our goal is to get the deal to the finish line.
No doubt.
So I take the approach of, hey, listing agent, I have an incredible veteran. First of all, what's a higher honor than to serve a veteran, right? I am not a veteran myself, but I have tremendous respect for anybody
no doubt,
who put their life on the line to serve our country, right? So from the get-go, I'm presenting the offer to the seller and the list side as, hey, this is a veteran. I make sure that all of my clients who are comfortable writing a note about their experience in the military, can we serve this up to the list side to say, so they know, hey, I'm a veteran. You know, I put my life on the line for you.
No doubt.
So I make sure that everybody knows that.
Can I press pause for just a second? I think you mentioned something, and you didn't say it, but I'm thinking about it right now. And that is, you know, when you're working, I think a lot of veterans will go, well, I'm just going to hire a real estate agent, anybody,
sure,
and I'm going to use them to write an offer on a house. There's so much more to it than that.
Yep.
One of the things that I'm thinking about, along with everything that you just said, is how well networked the agent is. So you said you've been in the real estate business for 7 years?
Yeah.
7 years. You probably do quadruple the amount of business that a traditional real estate agent does. And so my point is that you've got a lot more reps, and you've got a lot more reps on different teams, which translates to you've worked with a lot of agents
sure,
across the valley. So when they see an offer come from Sam Levy with the Brokery, and it's a clean veteran offer, guess what? They trust you. And they know that Sam does good business, and that Sam's not going to be submitting sleepy offers that aren't going to make it to the closing table, right? So for the veterans that are watching this program, the selection of real estate agent, kind of like the selection of a spouse, you know, is so incredibly important, because at the end of the day, it's going to really set you up for success. And a guy like you, who's had a tremendous amount of success in real estate, serving veterans, and understands the process, is going to position their offer, and you heard me say this already, but in a very strong negotiating scenario.
Yeah, thank you. So I think that's one thing that I do, right? The other thing that I do is I'm continuously, I should say, educating all parties that I'm working with around what's going to happen in this process if they don't know, right? Every time that I bring an offer to the table, I'm looking up the listing agent's production, and that's not for me to make me feel, you know, big or small depending on who it is, right? That's simply so I can gauge,
right,
are they educated? Have they ever done a VA transaction, right? If you've done 10 transactions, the chances that you've ever experienced a VA loan are pretty low, right? And so I am out there saying to the listing agent, hey, I'm calling them, hey, after we see the house, hey listing agent, we just saw the house, my client loves it, just FYI, he is a VA buyer. I'm gonna explain to you what that entails, because a lot of times people are like, oh no, we have, you know, 3 conventional offers, or you know, a cash offer, right? And so then I'm saying, that's fantastic. Let me put this letter in front of you. Let me get Jimmy on the phone to explain to you why a VA loan is just as good as a conventional loan, if not better. And then I'm saying, you might hear, you know, you talk to your mentor, let's say, as a listing agent, they say, oh no, you don't want to deal with a VA appraisal, right? So then I'm going to say, hey Jimmy, can you get on the phone and talk to the listing agent about a VA appraisal?
Right.
I'm also talking to them about what a VA appraisal is, how it might be different, if at all, and then, you know, we get the ball rolling, right? And I'm constantly communicating to my buyer and to the listing agent, this is what's going to happen next, right? The VA appraisal is coming up. Hey, I told you we were going to ask for nothing on the Binzer. We didn't ask for anything on the Binzer. We needed this thing done.
Which is the inspection.
Right, which is the inspection. Let me back up, right? So there's a process. You have offer, inspection, submit your Binzer, which is the buyer's inspection and notice and seller's response form, where you have an opportunity to ask for repairs or corrections, fixes to the house. If we need to get something out of the way for a VA appraisal, I will try to get that done in the inspection period, so that way when the appraisal comes, the seller is not getting hit with another surprise around something that might get tagged on a VA appraisal. So I'm trying to get out in front of the ball, educate the buyer, educate the listing side to get the deal to the finish line, which is everyone's ultimate goal.
One of the things that you said that made me think about, you used the word earlier, fallacies about the VA loan is just because a veteran's not putting any money down doesn't mean that they don't have money in the bank to put down. Right? And so if you think about it, like I did a video not too long ago about the cost of borrowing money, or the true cost of a down payment. And, you know, for example, just to keep things super simple, if a veteran's borrowing at a 2.75% rate, one can make an argument, why would I put my money in my house when I can borrow at 2.75 and I can invest my money long term?
Right.
Just last year, my team and I helped a veteran purchase almost a $1.8 million home. He didn't put any money down.
That's amazing.
No money down, $1.8 million, because he said, you know what, why would I do that when I can borrow at 2.75%? I'd be a darn fool to put money into my house because it's not earning any equity. So helping listing agents to understand that this is the veteran's option, just because they're not putting any money down doesn't mean that they're broke. It means that they're taking advantage of the benefit. And oh, by the way, Mr. Seller, is your net going to change at the end of the transaction?
Not at all.
Not one penny, right? So I think you're absolutely right. And, just really quick, you made me think of this. If I'm a listing agent, I'm encouraging a VA offer.
Yep.
Why is that? Well, because the VA is the only loan that has a built-in rebuttal process. So it's called the Tidewater. You're familiar with it, but a lot of listing agents aren't.
Sure.
So appraiser goes out, it's not seeing the value, they issue a Tidewater. That means now that Sam and the listing agent, you talk about being on that team, right? Come together as a team, and you guys are going to prepare additional comps that support the value of the home. Name me another appraisal type that's going to do that.
Right.
There aren't any, right? Yeah. So you've got an opportunity to lobby for the value of the property before the value's even issued.
Yeah. Reason
number 447, right, to consider utilizing a VA loan, especially in this marketplace. Oh, and one more thing. A veteran, let's just say they're not putting any money down. You got to get super creative in this marketplace. Remember that the veteran can borrow up to 100% of the home's appraised value. We know this about VA loans, but guess what? They can also make up the difference in cash between purchase price and appraised value. So if I'm a listing agent and a borrower's putting down 5%, well, I'm thinking, well, they might not have any additional funds to come in with more money down, whereas the veteran is not putting any money down. Perhaps they're saving all of their dry powder, to be able to take advantage of, or I should say, to pay the difference between purchase price and appraised value. Why would somebody do that? Well, because this is a competitive marketplace, and sometimes that's what you got to do if you really want the house.
100%. Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm appreciative that you took some time to talk about veterans and two veterans about their VA home loan benefit and getting offers accepted. There's so much misinformation that exists out there, but I'm grateful that there's people out there like you that are willing to provide and assist.
I'm excited about it, so anytime, yeah.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you.
All right. If you guys have any questions about anything we've spoken about today, please feel free to reach out to me at any time or Jimmy at any time. We're both simply here to be resources. Absolutely. We're always available, and we'd love to help.
Sam, I appreciate you having me, bro.
Of course.